So what's it like living in Kansas City now? Well, I think 25-year-old me would have had a lot less incentive to leave with all of this excitement happening. I remember growing up in Kansas City and thinking, I cannot wait to get out of this town. Felt like there was nothing to do, no exciting new developments, and downtown might as well have been a ghost town. So in 2011, I packed my bags and moved to Denver, Colorado. And you know what? When I moved back to KC at the end of 2020, the city felt different. There was this new, renewed excitement with new businesses popping up and development starting to take shape. Since then, we've seen the completion of CPKC Stadium and so much more. And it's not stopping there. If you're new here, you might not know that I've been covering a lot of the developments happening right here in Kansas City on this channel, as well as over on Instagram. By the way, I post on IG every single day, so be sure you follow me there to stay up to date with everything in Kansas City. It's been a while since we've dove into these development plans, so in this video, I'll be giving you the latest updates on what's coming along and what's been delayed. Stay tuned. First up, the Mattel Adventure Park is gearing up to open in Bonner Springs, Kansas in 2026, bringing some of Mattel's coolest brands to life. This will be the second park of its kind in the US, with the first one being built in Glendale, Arizona. The Kansas City area park looks pretty awesome, featuring some new rides and attractions. One of the big highlights will be the Hot Wheels themed roller coasters like Hot Wheels Bone Shaker. I don't know about you, but a roller coaster called Bone Shaker sounds pretty sick. My two sons are really into Hot Wheels right now, collecting cars and building tracks, so I know they're going to be so pumped about this. There's also the Hot Wheels Twin Mill Racer. These rides are sure to thrill both kids and adults who love the iconic toy cars. For the younger crowd, there's Thomas and Friends World of Sodor. This area will have 5 family-friendly attractions, including rides and an indoor play space perfect for little adventurers to explore and enjoy. The park will also feature a massive Barbie Beach House. Here, fans can dive into a unique experience where they can build their own Barbie sets in the Barbie Dream Closet, complete with holograms to bring Barbie to life. There will also be a Barbie-themed flying theater and a rooftop restaurant and bar. I don't know about you, but I'll likely need a drink after a day full of Hot Wheels and Barbie holograms. For those with a competitive nature, like me, here's another one that I am so pumped for: the He-Man vs. Skeletor laser tag. Fans can battle it out in a huge arena that looks like Castle Grayskull. Plus, there's a mini golf course with 18 holes inspired by classic Mattel games like the Magic 8 Ball and Pictionary, and a giant climbable Uno structure that is fun for all ages. Now, this is all part of the bigger plan to build an entire epic resort dubbed Destination KCK, complete with a 10-acre lake at its center, surrounded by the amusement park, 3 hotels, a convention center, retail, and even a year-round Christmas-themed museum with an ice skating rink. The total cost of the project is estimated at $490 million, will sit on 180 acres and bring an additional 1,500 jobs to Wyandotte County. Now, just down the road from Destination KCK, the $150 million Margaritaville Hotel is beginning to take shape. The development group behind HomeField KC and the Margaritaville brand are teaming up to bring this island-themed getaway to life. The 229-room hotel will be a major part of the $850 million HomeField development near I-70 and 435, just east of the Legends outlets. Margaritaville Hotel will have some fun, tropical-themed amenities. Guests can work out at the Fins Up Fitness Center, grab a bite at the 2-story Landshark Bar and Grill, and shop for Margaritaville branded goodies. Unique to this Kansas City location, there will be an indoor pool, a family entertainment center, an arcade, and a resort-style outdoor pool. But the hotel is just one part of the bigger HomeField project. The campus already includes a 150,000 square foot youth multi-sports facility, and then there's Atlas 9, an immersive art museum which is set to open in July. Now, there's not a lot of information on it currently, but I'm kind of hoping for a similar experience to Meow Wolf in Denver and in New Mexico. But that's not all that's coming soon to Kansas City, Kansas. Another project that has locals, myself included, pretty excited is the proposal for the first Buc-ee's in Kansas City. Now, I've never been to Buc-ee's, but I've heard great things. Let me know down in the comments if you've been and if it lived up to the hype. The unified government of Wyandotte County is currently in talks with the famous travel center known for its beaver nuggets, beef jerky, and abundance of gas pumps. They're working on a development agreement that could potentially break ground this year. The location would be close to the Kansas Speedway near I-70 and 110th Street. And the potential arrival of Buc-ee's is part of a broader effort to enhance local economic development in Wyandotte County. And Buc-ee's, famous for its wide range of snacks, food, and convenience items, could become a significant attraction on the Kansas side. Now, while we're on that subject of Kansas side, Kansas City, specifically the Legends, where many of these developments are actually taking place, let's talk for a moment about the future of the Chiefs and the Royals. Now, this is still all up in the air, but recently the state of Kansas approved a star bond bill aimed at bringing a professional sports team to Kansas. Their top target has been the Kansas City Chiefs, and recently President Mark Donovan stated that the team has had conversations with representatives from the Kansas side. It sparked quite the debate here locally. If you've watched any of my other videos, then you're likely aware of the border war that takes place between Kansans and Missourians. Yeah, it's a bit intense. Well, the Kansas legislature is stoking the flames, recently passing the plan to potentially relocate both the Chiefs but also the Royals from their current homes at the Truman Sports Complex in Kansas City, Missouri, to new locations over in the Legends in Kansas. However, the exact details, including the financial implications and specific locations, remain unclear, but there were some renderings that came out several months ago showcasing a Chiefs Dome stadium near the Legends. Now, whether the Chiefs and or the Royals move to Kansas or not, there's definitely going to be some development around the stadiums in the coming years. The current lease for the Truman Sports Complex expires in 2031. Ever since the failed tax extension vote in April to build a new ballpark for the Royals downtown and renovate Arrowhead, both teams have decided to pursue their funding separately. But what do you think about the future of the teams in Kansas City? Will they stay in Kansas City, Missouri, or move over to the Kansas side? Drop your thoughts down in the comments. Next up in Kansas, we're traveling a little further south to Overland Park's BluHawk area, which is gearing up for a big upgrade with the boundary at BluHawk. This new development at 159th and 69 Highway is set to bring fresh shopping and dining options by 2026. With a $75 million budget, the boundary will offer 200,000 square feet of restaurants, shops, rooftop bars, and green space. The boundary is designed to complement the nearby Advent Health Sports Park, which will feature an NHL-sized hockey rink, a zip line, and courts for basketball and volleyball tournaments. The idea is to create a spot where people can unwind and have fun after sporting events. BluHawk is really acting as an anchor for this development that's taking place in South Overland Park with places like Constantino's and of course Kitchen. They also added a Sierra trading post for outdoor gear, and it's becoming the key spot where much of the new construction is happening down south in Johnson County. So if you're looking for a new construction spot with some things to do in South OP, well, you might want to consider somewhere around the BluHawk development. Now, before we shift gears over to the Missouri side, if we haven't met yet, my name's Kyle. I'm a local realtor here in the Kansas City area. And if you're considering buying, selling, relocating, or investing here in KC, my team and I would love to assist you. Shoot us a call, text, email, day or night, and we got your back. And also remember to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel as I'm putting out new content every single week about life right here in KC. All right, so on to the Missouri side, where one of the biggest projects has been announced along Kansas City's Berkeley Riverfront. Port KC and the KC Current are teaming up on an $800 million project that's going to completely transform the area over the next decade. Their plan is to turn the riverfront into a vibrant neighborhood with shops, apartments, restaurants, offices, and much, much more. The first phase kicks off later this year and aims to wrap up before the 2026 FIFA World Cup. They're starting with over 400 apartment units, new dining spots, and plenty of green space closer to the river. The goal is to bring new life to the riverfront that's been pretty underutilized for years. Berkeley Riverfront won't be just a place to live and work, it'll be a place to play too, with the plans of a climbing wall and volleyball courts also being thrown in the mix. And right at the center of it all, CPKC Stadium, home of the KC Current, adding to that strong community vibe. Now, I know parking has been a bit of a concern, but they're adding structured parking and improving roads to keep everything flowing smoothly. They're really aiming for a walkable, bike-friendly atmosphere around the stadium. Already, places like Two Birds, One Stone Beer Garden and the Origin Hotel are set to open later this year, showing that the Riverfront revival is already underway. This project is shaping up to turn Berkeley Riverfront into a lively, authentic KC spot that'll draw in locals and visitors alike to enjoy everything it has to offer. Now, speaking of the river, the next one is something that I've covered quite a bit on this channel, the Rock Island Bridge. Now, this one was set to open actually earlier this year in July, but like with anything groundbreaking, there have been some delays, and now it's not expected to open until sometime in 2025. Now, that's likely to be expected when you're doing something that's never been done before, but they have made substantial progress. If you're not familiar with it, let me catch you up. This iconic bridge is being transformed into a mixed-use space that will feature an entertainment district with a restaurant, 2 bars, an event space, and regular live entertainment, all 60 feet above the Kansas River. But that's not all. The bridge will also include a public crossing and trailhead services connecting the Rock Island Trail on both sides of the river, making it easy for pedestrians and cyclists to access. Plus, there's going to be a dedicated public gathering space for community events. We don't have a firm date yet, but the developer behind the project is aiming for a grand opening sometime next spring. And while I am disappointed it won't be opening this year, I believe the wait will be well worth it. Meanwhile, the iconic West Bottoms, known for its vibrant community of artists, antique stores, and entertainment venues, is set for a $526 million redevelopment aimed at revitalizing the neighborhood while preserving its unique character. Samara Road, the New York developer behind the project, has been assembling properties throughout the area for over 2 years. They're moving forward with the final touches and design planning, along with securing the last pieces of funding, as well as the city will be investing around $42 million in public infrastructure and green space, and there's an additional $8.3 million earmarked to support affordable housing within the redevelopment. Over the next 15 years, the plan is to bring more than 1,200 new apartments, 168,000 square feet of office space, 100,000 square feet of retail space, and 50 boutique hotel rooms. They're also creating community gathering areas aiming for a more integrated live, work, play environment. But what I love most about this project is the developers plan to transform many of the existing buildings into mixed-use spaces and a boutique hotel. It's a vision that breathes new life into the area while keeping the district's character intact. This blend of history and modern development is set to make the West Bottoms a must-visit spot in Kansas City. And last, but certainly not least, some exciting changes are coming to the Country Club Plaza thanks to a comprehensive plan led by HP Village Management. The new owners, who also manage the historic Highland Park Village Shopping Center in Dallas, have big plans for this iconic KC shopping district. First up is security, which has been a growing concern in the plaza. Their plan is to add more cameras, increase private security, and collaborate closely with local law enforcement to improve safety and prevent crime. One thing I'm really excited about is their commitment to preserving and restoring the plaza's architecture, bringing it back to its former glory. Similar to Highland Park Village, the plaza was developed in the 1930s with a beautiful Spanish-themed design. They're planning to refacade many of the older buildings, replacing outdated designs from the 70s and 80s with storefronts that look like they've been there for over a century. They're also considering adding a boutique hotel on the block where the former Starbucks was located, which could really enhance the area. Another thing that I'm frankly very excited about is the focus on making the plaza more pedestrian friendly. HP Village is planning on an extensive overhaul of streets and sidewalks, expanding them, adding landscaping, and even considering some brick streets. They're also looking to improve parking by adding more diagonal spaces, which should make the area more accessible and enjoyable for everyone. And for the residents, they're planning to bring back a small grocer to the plaza, adding to the convenience and charm of the neighborhood. Now, while there's no firm timeline for all of these changes, a detailed landscaping plan is expected by this fall. But the hope is that the plaza will soon feel less like a concrete jungle and more like the vibrant, welcoming place it was always meant to be. So what's it like living in Kansas City now? Well, I think 25-year-old me would have had a lot less incentive to leave with all of this excitement happening. It's a different town, and I believe it's only going to get better. Stay tuned for more updates on these projects, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay in the loop with all things Kansas City. Now, if you're interested in more housing developments and what it's actually like to live here in Kansas City, be sure to check out this playlist up here, and we'll see you on the next video.